Hey guys, this is Joel here from joelwebsites.com. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to insert or update data in the database. The database is going to be MySQL, and we are going to use JSON Web Services to insert this data. And the most important thing is that we are going to insert data securely. So we are not going to pass data variables to the URL. Okay, we will be using the post method to pass these variables. So follow the tutorial. I'll show you like what are the most important things to get this done. Okay, so first of all you will have to create two folders to keep things systematic. I've created two folders, so you can create just one folder for your project files for web services and HTML files. But if you create just one, then it will be too crowded and you will get confused when the number of files increase. So I've created two folders containing the web services and the HTML files so that there's a clear separation. So I'll go to the web services and then I'll show you this thing using where I've created the registration page. Okay, so I'll open the registration page and show you in detail what it is. So on top of the registration page, okay, we need to mention these three headers. These are access control headers that will help the data be inserted from anywhere. Okay, it does not be the application that will not need to be on the same domain name. You can even use external applications to insert data to this URL. So that is the reason why it is important to mention these three headers. um, as I've told you before that we are going to use the post method to insert this variable so that we won't need to mention the variables in the URL string. So you see that we have used the URL. We are using the $post method to get the username, email address and the password. Okay, I'm using the registration form for this example. So here we are just fetching the variables. Okay, get the variables here. We have just put some condition that if in case the variable is blank, in case the variable is not set, we are just setting the value to blank. Okay, so there's nothing to be confused. You can even use $post and a variable name. It is simple to fetch the variable. Then the next step is to use the insert statement in MySQL, in PHP MySQL. So you can either use a insert or an update statement over here. Okay, so in case you want to update the value, you can use the update and then get the value from the sub. You can get, for example, an ID. Suppose if this is an ID, you can write an update statement, update the email, password, update the email and password, where id is equal to, the typical update statement that we write. Okay, so the next step is to return a status. Okay, you can return a status using uh, this method. You have to write a in if condition. So if the query is equal to 1, so this means that the query is equal to 1. Okay, you can use other methods to check whether the query executed properly or no. You can use your own methods, but for this simple example I'm just using if the query value is equal to 1, that means it is true. If the value is true, then it will return a status of 1. So in the JavaScript application you will come to know. I have not tested this thing out. I've just written it to demonstrate like how you will get. So but the above things are working for sure. Only this thing you'll have to check on how to send the status. Okay, you can do that by yourself. um, so I'm you can just have a look at this code. You can pause the video and note the code down in case you want to have a uh, in case you want to note down the code. I will be also writing the same code in my blog, so then you can view my blog and copy paste it from there too. So this is for the register.php file. Okay, let me brief you out once again. First of all, you have to insert the headers, then just write an error reporting statement, then include the file. Config file will have the database connection. Then get the values in the variables using the $post method. Then write an insert or update statement. Okay, you have to write an insert and update statement. Then you have to just normally execute the PHP variable, and if it is inserted, just return the status of 1, otherwise return the status of 0, or you can return whatever values you want. Okay, this is how you return. Here the value is being echoed, okay, whatever is returned. So this is all for the web service file. So now the next part, we need to go to the JS side, okay, to know how the things are working on the JS end. So I'm going to go to my HTML folder and go to the login page. Okay, this is the login. This is the login page. Let us open and check what is with it. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just getting the values from the text boxes using jQuery. So you see that confirm password is dollar confirm. This is the ID of the text box. Confirm password dot val. If I'm selecting it, Control C, then I'm pressing Control F in brackets. So here you see the ID is confirm password for the text box. Okay, so I'm just getting the values in variables using jQuery. Okay, it is really simple. And then when this function is called, it takes the values from the text boxes, and then it is posting the values to the registration web service. Okay, you have to make sure that this link is properly set. So here's the we are sending the password, we are sending the email, and we are sending the username. Okay, so then you remember I was talking about some status that will be returned in the PHP section if the statement has been inserted or no. So here's the status. Okay, so sorry, this is the status. Okay, I'm returning status 1. Okay, else I'll return the status as 0. Okay, so then in the JavaScript side, it is really easy to check whether the status is 1 or 0. I'll just comment this out because that is not so useful. It is This statement is just to check whether the entire web service call was proper. So what you got to do is create you need to create a var called status, or you can directly use the value of data 0 dot status. Okay, make sure the value is 0 here. Okay, you need to make sure the value is 0. So now we will get an answer, okay, based like on the result of the PHP file. You can use this for other purposes also. You can write other PHP code in the PHP application side. It's not necessary you can just write update and insert statements. You can make the logic much more complicated also. That is fine. So if I'm writing an init statement over here, if status equal to 1, okay, sometimes you need to check whether this status, whether the value is 1 or it is string. So you need to check, okay, you need to test and check whether the value is in an integer format or it is in the text format, because in JavaScript both are different. Okay, so there is no need to get confused. Okay, so here you'll have to put alert success. You just need to type in an alert so that you'll understand whether it is inserted successfully. So now this is the most important code, important part of the code that you need to note down, which I have highlighted currently. You can pause the video and note this code down if you want. As I said, I will mention this code as it is really important in my blog too, and several people have this question. So now let us try and see what happens when we execute the code. Okay, I've started my XAMPP server already, and I'm going to go to the folder. Okay, so now I've executed the file. If you're looking how to forward to how I created all this, you can follow the link in the description where it says Angular JS tutorial on how to create a login page. So that is where I created all this. Okay, um, so you got to go to the registration page. In that, I even left the link for for downloading the project. So then let us insert some username. Okay, let us click on register now and see what happens. Okay, it seems that this URL was wrong. It is from the previous tutorial. So let us change the URL. Make sure that the URL are right, um, to ensure that it works properly. So now let us refresh the page. Okay. New Ignito window. Okay. Opening it in the new Ignito window will prevent it from saving any history and the cache. So there's sometimes a lot of cache being saved and it creates unnecessary errors. Okay, so when we are clicking the register button, we are seeing that nothing is happening. Something is happening. Okay. Okay, so when I click the register now button, I had got these two things in my console log. Okay, so what I did is I opened this in a new tab, and this was an error. It was saying that cannot column cannot be inserted, cannot be null. Yes, so we got an error that the ID cannot be null. Okay, so let us check the structure of this database of the table. So let us make this a primary key, and let us also add the auto increment thing to this data, to this id table, id column. Okay. um so what I'm going to do is I'll click on change, and then what I'll do is I'm going to click on the auto increment thing, and then I'm going to make this as primary. Okay, it's already made primary. So let us try the test once again. Okay, let us see if data is inserted or no. Okay, so you see that data has been inserted now. um, there were a few mistakes in the code, so I have rectified the mistakes. One was that the id column was not auto increment, so it was not accepting null values, and the other mistake was that the url that I was passing the variables to was wrong. Okay, so let us see the test. I'm going to insert one more piece of information using the web service and the login registration page. So I'm clicking register, and then let us go to the database and then refresh, and we see that there is one more code being inserted. Just a moment. Okay, you see that there is more data being inserted. So now what I'm going to do in the JavaScript, I'm going to uncomment the alert because I need to know what is going on. To during debugging processes, you need to uncomment everything. Okay, so now let's go back to the page and refresh the code because we have made some changes. So here I refresh the page. Now clicking on register and then entering the test details. Okay, so one more mistake that I've noticed is that in the code that we are echoing unnecessary code. Okay, so make sure that you're not echoing an unnecessary thing. So in case you're echoing anything other than the JSON encode result, you need to comment out that. So I'm commenting out this, and let's see, and let us try again. So I'm pressing Control Fi now. um, let's go to register and type in the test details. Test test. Okay, so you see that the data is object is success, and see, and we also get the message inserted successfully since the status is 1. So that is how I debug the errors that were unnecessary. So make sure, in case you are getting similar errors in your application, make sure you solve them the same way. Oh, I hope the debugging steps that I performed were helpful. Okay, so you can even put in failure for failure if status equal to 0, like. So here you can write your failure code, and here you can write your success code. So you can pause the video and note down this function. um, I hope that this tutorial was useful to you. um, if you like the video, please press the like button in the like box and give it a big thumbs up. And don't mention to forget whatever you feel about the video. If the video was bad, then don't forget to mention it in the comments so that next time I can improve myself. So stay tuned guys and keep watching. Bye bye, take care.